All right, guys. So a lot of news that's going on in boxing lately. Deontay, Bronze Bomber Wilder said him and Tyson Fury have made an agreement to fight in 2020 after the Luis Ortiz rematch, which is rumored out there to be in September, possibly pay-per-view. So basically, he's taking care of his controversial fights. Um, Luis Ortiz, in my opinion, was beating Deontay Wilder before he got knocked out. Um, I actually had Tyson Fury, I think, winning by a round or so. Excuse me, before he got knocked out. And I do think it should have been a knockout. I think the count was pretty long. Um, Mike Tyson versus Buster Douglas, part two. Um, but since it did go to the cards, I did have Fury winning by a round. But so it's good. He's taking care of his rematches. Um, some people are saying Deontay Wilder's now ducking AJ or whatever. I don't believe he's ducking AJ. I think he's kind of playing the probably the petty route, trying to take out all the competition that AJ could face if not fighting him. And I don't blame Deontay Wilder in this sense that AJ basically of all of 2018 gave him the run around, him and Eddie Hearn, just trying to way overplay this A side nonsense that's going around in boxing. Um, pulling their whole card and stuff like that. Wilder was even willing to take a flat 15 million at the last minute to fight AJ last year, and they still didn't want to make it happen. So I think Team Wilder and Wilder's just fed up with it. So they said to hell with Joshua. We're not gonna you know we're not gonna go out of our way this time for that fight. Whether it's the zone offering them 100 mil or whatever. I think the reason why that didn't happen is because T. Wilder wanted to know what AJ was making. So it's not that they were mad at the 100 mil that they were supposed to get. It's what AJ is supposed to make. I think that was what their main gripe. Plus that it would be on the zone, which is still a new platform in America, and still to this day has not been uh, so popular. So. I can understand a little bit. And then from Team AJ's side, I think DAZN and Eddie Hearn being under pressure from DAZN is, they need big fights. They haven't had, the biggest fight they've had was Canelo Jacobs. And, to my knowledge, the streaming service, the app itself was having a lot of, technical issues and whatnot, And it was, popular, from actors and stuff saying that they were having problems trying to watch the Canelo Jacobs fight. So, DAZN still has some, kinks to work out in terms of their production and just getting their regular service out there to the public. Still promoting DAZN. People still call it dazzling and whatnot. Um, they keep screaming pay-per-view's dead, but it looks like we're gonna get like 6 or 7 damn pay-per-views. Um, so, and I'm not a fan of pay-per-view like that, but in the same vein, you can't be worried about what the competition is doing. You just gotta do your thing, to an extent, you know what I'm saying? To an extent. You gotta do your own thing, get your brand, get your name out there, because, you don't want people to still call it dazzling and it's really the zone, so that's still pretty bad, Um, but for Wilder, uh, it's, those are tough fights, man. Luis Ortiz is not a pushover. I do think he will knock out Ortiz a little bit earlier. I think Ortiz being a southpaw and just a natural counterpuncher was giving Wilder all he could handle. Um, I like Luis Ortiz. I would argue Luis Ortiz is one of the, if he might be the most skilled or the most balanced Cuban fighter in boxing. Most Cubans are more like, very meticulous counterpunchers, but Ortiz, Sullivan, Barrera, they're a little bit different. They're probably more aggressive than people think. Um, So I really think Ortiz is an absolute animal. He's a problem. He hasn't had the best competition since Wilder. I don't think that's his fault necessarily as well, just because I don't think dudes really want to fight Luis Ortiz. You know, to an extent, he's still a high risk, low reward, unless it is against a Wilder, Joshua, or a Tyson Fury, or maybe a Dillian White. But it's a tough fight, man. It's not going to be easy. If Wilder does make it look easy in a rematch, oh my God, this dude is. You could call him the king of rematches. Like, you saw how he treated Bermane Stiverne in the rematch. So if he can do something anywhere of that ilk to Luis Ortiz, who most people consider a top 5 heavyweight today, wow, that's huge. Um, and then a Tyson Fury rematch, I think it'll probably be on Fox and ESPN. Because Tyson Fury did sign a multi-fight deal on ESPN, so he's probably going to fight Tom Schwartz. I'm not sure who he's going to fight afterwards. But if it is agreed on paper that they're going to fight in 2020, it's a good rematch. It's the rematch we wanted to see this year. Um, I don't know who wins the rematch. I really don't. Fury could outbox him for 10 rounds and then still get knocked out. So um, we'll just have to see. The heavyweight division's getting some real buzz. Especially from Deontay Wilder. I think him and AJ will happen probably late next year. So if he takes care of Ortiz this year, end of this year, takes care of Tyson Fury, which is again no gimme, then it makes all the sense in the world to kind of wrap it up with Anthony Joshua at the end of the year, and that's going to make it tough for Joshua. Who is he going to fight? Should he take care of business with Ruiz? I think Joseph Parker just signed to Matchroom Boxing, so I wonder if they might do a rematch with either him or maybe fight Dillian White, Oscar Rivas winner. Um, I don't know. Maybe Adam Kanowski. Andy Ruiz just went with PBC and he's fighting AJ, so maybe Al Heyman will, let Kanowski get Kanowski get his title shot versus AJ. That'd be a good fight too. Um, Kanowski can punch. He's tough. Yeah, this is solid heavyweight. So, but yeah, the heavyweight division is going crazy though. I think it's going to be on pay-per-view with Wilder versus Ortiz. Again, it hasn't been official, but it's a lot of rumors of pay-per-view with PBC. You got Garcia versus Garcia. It's supposed to be on pay-per-view in August, although it's June now, so I don't know how much longer you really want to wait to announce that. Um, then you got possibly Spence and Porter, and I don't know if that's going to be on pay-per-view. And if it does, I would assume it would be in September or October, because that's what you got to think too. Because if Wilder Ortiz is on pay-per-view, and the rumor has it it's going to be September, is Spence Porter going to be pushed back to October so they can make that pay-per-view? You know what I'm saying? That's a lot of pay-per-views. We would have had what? Pacquiao Broner, which not really a pay-per-view fight. Um, who else did you have? Spence Garcia. Stretch for me to say pay-per-view worthy. It's a cool fight just because of the spectacle, but I don't know about pay-per-view. Um, Now you got Thurman Pacquiao. Again, I don't know if it's pay-per-view. Thurman was coming off a, scary moment versus Lopez. Pacquiao had a, cool fight versus Broner, but we know Broner don't let his hands go. Now you got Garcia versus Garcia. Garcia, he is the first to stop Granados, but it's Granados, He's a solid fighter, B minus C plus dude, but he's not a world beater. And Mikey Garcia just got his ass beat for 12 rounds. So how's that pay-per-view? Then you got, Spence Porter, the more meaningful fight in the division, and that's a unification. And again, I would argue, not really sure that's a pay-per-view fight. And then you got Wilder versus Ortiz, though again, great fight, great rematch. Is it really pay-per-view? stretch. So they would have had what 6, 7 pay-per-views this year. Plus, he had Khan and Crawford. Forgot about that one. That was on pay-per-view. That wasn't a pay-per-view fight, especially the way they promoted it. So, cramming all these pay-per-views at the end of the year, I'm not sure if that's the best move. There is a small rumor out there that PBC might be up for sale. Not sure how real that is. People have been praying for Al Heyman's demise forever. So, I'm not sure there's much concrete into that, but we'll see what happens. Could explain why of all of Al Heyman's like original signees are getting like pay-per-view fights, even though they're not really worth pay-per-view. So, there could be a small truth to it, but we'll never know until it happens. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of Wilder getting his rematches end of this year, early next year with Ortiz versus Fury. They're definitely on a mission to starve out Anthony Joshua. Like I said, it's becoming more of a pissing contest now. Again, I get it, just from a man-to-man prospect or aspect, but let's just make these big fights, man. Let's at the end of the day, I'm a boxing. I like both dudes, but let's make the fight, man. Stop the pettiness. But no, let me know what you guys think though about Wilder versus Ortiz in a rematch. Do you think Ortiz this time will do better in the rematch and close the show, or do you think Wilder ices him early? I do think it will be another classic though. And then same thing with Wilder Fury. How do you think the rematch goes? Do you think Fury boxes the snot out of Wilder, or do you think Wilder catches him at some point in the fight? Let me know what you guys think, though. Wilder versus Ortiz 2, Wilder Fury 2. Drop comments, like, subscribe. Take it easy.